Sometimes the opening credits hint at the deeper meaning of a show. So what do the credits say about Big Little Lies? First, we see women driving their kids through beautiful, somewhat threatening terrain. At its core, Big Little Lies is about exactly that. Women at the helm, navigating through their beautiful lives, while their children, watchful and serious, take everything in. There's more to the story: sex, secrets, friendships, but at the crux of it all are the mothers, the kids, and what happens when their shared road gets bumpy.
I have 2 showings. I have Abigail's college advisor, not to mention all the scrutiny. It's just gonna be a day.
What scrutiny?
Ed, this is the first day of school. We have to earn our good mom badges all over again. Has she gotten fatter over the summer? Does she look older? These questions get asked, Ed, and we all get judged all over again.
It turns out being a mom in Monterey, or maybe I should say, it turns out being a mom anywhere, involves feeling judged most of the time. For working too much, or for working too little, or for being too happy, or too pretty, or too poor. Most of the moms in Big Little Lies respond to this pressure by trying to appear as perfect as they possibly can. Unfortunately, this doesn't always make them better parents. Maddie projects her own wishes and regrets onto her daughter Abigail.
There are a lot of high-powered women who live here, and sometimes I feel like you're grooming me to get to a place you, couldn't.
Renata tries to buy her daughter happiness instead of admitting that her own stress could be contributing to Amabella's anxiety.
She's obviously under immense stress.
You think, Renata?
Celeste is rarely honest with her twins, partially because she's in deep denial herself.
We're a family, and a family is meant to be open and honest with each other, so.
I don't think we're that kind of family.
For these moms, trying to be perfect is a losing game. Their energy goes into maintaining appearances, performing perfection. So when mistakes do inevitably happen, they get denied, ignored, or worse, passed on to the children. In season 1, Ziggy is accused of bullying Amabella Klein. Ziggy's mom, Jane, is single and not especially rich. Not the perfect parent by Monterey standards, and the adults are fast to judge her and Ziggy. The parents would be even faster to blame Ziggy if they knew that Jane had him as the result of being raped by Celeste's husband, Perry. But it turns out that Max, one of Celeste and Perry's twins, was the culprit. In this case, nurture wins over nature. Both boys are Perry's sons. But only one of them saw his father hurting his mother.
Hey, champ.
Celeste spends a great deal of time both before and after Perry's death covering up the extent of the abuse.
Have you told anybody else about the abuse? Why not?
I don't know.
If you were to guess.
Perhaps my self-worth is made up of how other people see me.
Big Little Lies uses the topic of domestic abuse to examine the broader theme of how things that are left hidden and unspoken, the titular Big Little Lies, can stay dormant until they morph into a stronger strain of the disease, one that will be passed on. In season 2, Mary Louise, Perry's mother, takes Celeste to court over custody of the twins. Celeste eventually opts to represent herself and questions Mary Louise, which is when we learn that Mary Louise wasn't a perfect mother either.
Did you ever blame him for causing the car to crash? Did you ever say to him, look what you made me do?
No.
No? So if Perry were to have told me that you blamed him for
Objection,
his
hearsay.
brother's death, if he told me that you said to him, this is your fault, it is your fault that your brother was killed.
Stop
If
it.
you were to have said that, did you ever?
No.
Did you
Mary
ever?
Louise almost certainly helped shape Perry into the abuser he was, but there were extenuating circumstances. She was being blamed by her husband and dealing with the impossible grief of losing a child. Celeste and Mary Louise are the ones in court proving their fitness as moms, but in truth, each of the Monterey moms feels like she is on trial too. Big Little Lies is very careful about showing us that while none of these mothers are perfect, most of them aren't straight-cut villains either, and few deserve the judgment they face. But the deeper the mistakes are buried, the worse it is when they eventually emerge. No one even suspected how abusive Bonnie's upbringing had been, but in season 2 we learn that her whole life and Perry's death are the result of it.
I resent you for not feeling safe at home. I resent you for my wanting to beat the shit out of everyone. I resent you for killing a man. When I lunged at him, I was pushing you.
Big Little Lies shows us again and again Children are the litmus test for their parents' lies. If the parents pretend to be happy, then the children will know and be unhappy too. If they act one way but teach their kids otherwise, the kids will follow their actions and not their words. Anything evil that is hidden eventually reveals itself through the children. In one way or another, they bear the consequences. Perhaps the biggest problem the younger generation is inheriting is also discussed.
You're going to college.
The planet is dying, Mom, but God forbid I don't study Lysistrata. It's bullshit.
Climate change is a global burden that today's adults are passing on to the kids. Big Little Lies hints that the elder generation's arrogance and insistence on personal success above all else might have had something to do with it.
I will be rich again. I will rise up. I will buy a fucking polar bear for every kid in this school. And then I will squish you like the bug that you are.
I've talked a lot about the parents and not enough about the kids. The way their parts are cast and written makes for a wonderfully wise group of children. They are the antidote to the sometimes toxic Monterey.
Motherfucker! Chloe Adeline Mackenzie.
You were thinking it.
They understand their parents, call their bullshit, and want nothing more than for them to be happy.
I can protect you.
And the parents want the same for their kids.
Yeah.
When I was watching the show, I kept thinking if only the adults could show themselves the same forgiveness they have for their children.
We all do bad things sometimes.
Because as Celeste's therapist keeps trying to explain to her, you can't help your kids if you don't help yourself first. Same principle as with airplane masks.
It's all right, baby. It's all right.
In the credits of season 1, the moms file past the camera dressed up as Audrey Hepburns, beautiful and enigmatic performers. The kids are still free to be themselves, making silly faces at the camera. But in the season 2 credits, the kids are all wearing sunglasses. It's like they've grown a bit of that protective fake shell their moms have to wear. I'm sort of hoping that if we get a season 3, the sunglasses will come off again. Hi guys, thanks for watching. How did you like the second season of Big Little Lies? Obviously, I really loved both seasons, but I think I might actually even like the second season a bit more than the first one, which seems to be going the opposite way from most reviews. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing here, give me a like, or give me a share, or subscribe so as not to miss upcoming videos. See you soon.